Hello, welcome all you lords and ladies of fate. You once again found yourself in the self-claimed only tabletop TTRPG Twitch stream that allows you, the viewer, to significantly impact the stories being told on your screen. In order to do so, you must spend fate chips. These are loyalty points that you earn by just watching, following, hosting, subscribing, or even just engaging us in chat. You can use those fate chips to heal your favorite players, summon in custom items, or make our players say silly things. You could even force the adventurers into random encounters. And let's not forget, I'm also a handsome man. Tonight, we're playing Tomb of Annihilation, an adventure module for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. Tonight, we are short a couple players, but we do have Felix playing Scrod, the human barbarian.
So,
we have Keylater playing Xavier Thatch, the human rogue.
Hello, everybody.
Then we have myself playing Jacob Bruce, the human ranger. And then we have, to mitigate the will of the fates tonight, DM Dave. No, not that one.
Hello. Welcome back to Chult. Deep in the jungle. I believe Scrod has another letter to read us before we get kicked off. In the now famous letters to Lenny.
my dear Lenny, Doug mentioned you are making excellent progress on your physical therapy sessions. Keep working hard. So, we are continuing our mission to for Syndra to find the source of the death curse. Today we learned the hard truth about Fort Ulrich. They do not have enough money to keep themselves safe. Xavier also learned that Blaze Courier was taking money from pirates in exchange for shipping routes to get that money to make up their shortfall and keep them safe. Now, I know she's trying to do right by the people, but even then, she's helping the pirates. Maybe we could come back sometime and help sort this out. But she didn't want our help right now. I did talk to the sergeant to take care of Terry and get him home safe with his family and his dog, so at least there's that. We found our tabaxi guides that Rora hooked us up with. The orange pelted river mist and her brother, Flask of Wine, who has very nice gray fur. Since Blaze didn't want our help, Jacob figured out that it was best we just move on. The group decided we should investigate those large footprints that Jacob and Kenneth learned about, even though there isn't any reward for it in it for us right now. River Mist got us to the source of the footprints. It was frost giants. And they seemed unhappy and looked to be just milling around looking for trouble. We decided to leave them alone for now and make camp a little further down our path. Please be safe, and if you see Darkar, let him know I miss him. Scrod.
And Scrod seals up another small bottle with a cork, his message inside, and sets it in what looks to be a long defunct bird bath along the side of the camp. It is morning in Chult. It is still raining as hard as it has the last few days. It is a miserable morning as you all awake. But you awake to a rather pleasant smell of roasting meat over the fire. You see Flask of Wine slowly turning what looks to be it looks like a chicken, but about 3 feet taller than a regular chicken, any chicken you've seen anyway. And he is slowly turning this giant bird on a spit over the fire, while River Mist is doing something with a pile of feathers that clearly came from this carcass. As you awake, River Mist greets you with "I have hunted our breakfast. Please enjoy.
Yeah, I'll grab some.
Oh, perfect.
Flask of wine expertly cuts whatever bits you point at off with his sharp claws and hands them to you. A leg, some breast. The thighs are particularly delicious.
So Xavier's gonna kind of go pale a little bit. He's gonna go, you sure this isn't going to attract anything to us?
This River Mist answers, this time of the morning we should be safe, but that is a good point. Very clever. We should keep our eyes out.
Of course. I got my glasses on.
I'm gonna go into the pack. I think it says I've got Dark Art's pack with me. I'm gonna go in and get one of the veggie burgers and nibble on that. Oh,
You still have plenty of rations.
yep.
As you eat, River Mist says, make sure you have plenty. We will need our strength for the for Firefinger. It is
Is
imperative
that like a
that
game?
Firefinger is our destination.
Ah, okay.
An old signal tower, the last standing as far as I know. There used to be a great network of them all across Cholt, but through various calamities, many of them have fallen. But Firefinger remains. Unfortunately, it has been overtaken by terrafolk. Flask of wine bristles at the mention.
Who now?
What kind of folk?
Terrafolk. They are endemic to these lands, but I am not surprised if you have not encountered them before. She's sort of clicking her claws together. A Flask, how would you describe the terrafolk? Flask takes the whole spit off of the fire for a second, sets it on another couple of sticks just to the side. Straightens himself up to his full height, extends his arms, and goes, "Rah! Rah!"
What an eccentric performance.
He bows slightly.
Give a nod.
What?
Like birds, then, I take it?
They are a flying creature. Lizard. Flying lizard. People. Flying, yes, with
Okay, I got you. They got kind of a big pointy nose.
big pointy nose.
See? Okay.
Would this sound familiar?
Yeah, those will ruin your day.
Make a nature check. Whoever asked that.
Yes.
That'll be me, I think. We're gonna roll it anyway.
Got 19.
Oh, it's yours then, bro.
Xavier, they do sound familiar to you. You've never seen one in real life, but you have heard of these creatures. You've not heard them called terrafolk before. You've maybe heard them called humanoid pterodons. They've not really been classified in your world, but you know of.
They're dinosaur people?
They're basically people crossed with pterodons. They're large sized. But they are clever enough, some of them, to speak common and use rudimentary weapons.
Ooh. Okay.
As well as their own natural offenses, as it were.
Yeah, I would like to relay this to everyone else. Like, these guys aren't stupid. They could probably mess us up if we come across them.
Yes, they use the long pointy sticks to throw and to stab with.
And they've also invented silent letters.
A great many deal.
So they got a pointing stick that they can fly.
Yes.
So that's one in the not a good day column right there.
No.
Their eyesight is notoriously terrible, however.
Ah.
If we approach under cover of night or during a storm, we will be virtually guaranteed not to have any issues until we enter the tower, of course.
Mm.
That's perfect. It hasn't stopped raining since we got here.
Yes, I think if we arrive there tonight, as I anticipate we will, we should have a perfect cover to infiltrate the tower.
No, so this tower you're talking about. All right, so is it abandoned, or just these guys are in there pooping around now?
They are pooping around in the tower.
All right,
yes.
so it's abandoned, and they're just like squatting.
Yes, they
squat.
have a squat in pooping tower.
Pooping tower. Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't nobody else was there. I just may have missed that. I was gnawing on my biscuit.
The last time that Flask of Wine and myself were near Firefinger, we saw only the Terrafolk and their victims, but the victims are of no great danger to us.
I'm hearing the V word. I'm going in. I want to go in out.
All right. I guess if there's any time while we're picking up the camp, I actually want to try to see if I can forage for any extra, fruits, nuts, berries, anything like that for just in case.
Make a survival check.
All right.
Okay. You find maybe a handful of berries. With that, you find enough for him for today.
All right.
I just do I notice? Did I notice you doing that, or?
Well, I'll hand them to you at the end and be like, here, this should at least help you get through the day.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Of course, gotta keep everybody strong.
Yeah.
River Mist notices this and says, "You do not eat meat?"
I only eat meat with my pack members. I miss them very much, and so that's a thing we share special.
Good to know.
Yep. No, I will say I really love the meat. I know it being cooked and everything was a courtesy to us. So thank you for doing that, and it was well prepared. It smelled great.
Flask of Wine, standing just behind River Mist, nods and bows slightly again.
Yeah.
Cool.
As everybody else finishes up packing up the camp, Flask of Wine stomping out the last of the embers, covering the fire with some leftover dirt. River Mist approaches Jacob and says, do you have any map? You have a chart of the area?
We do.
This I do know to where I am going, but this will be of use.
Of course. And I will hand that to him.
She puts her paws up and says, "Please, I will just look. You can hold on to your possession."
Sure.
She looks over the map, and straightens up and says, "All right, I will lead if no one has objections."
No, of course not.
No.
Nope.
And off you set, unless anybody else has anything they want to do this morning before you get on the old dusty trail. Or old humid trail, as it may be.
No, I'm good.
The old soggy trail.
The soggy trail. Yeah, this is like, this is Ukrainian mud here.
Yeah, my shoes are kind of full right now.
Yeah. Not really. I mean, the fire's out, right?
Yeah.
Which I watched them do that. And also raining, it's hard to keep it on.
Yeah, it is. That's true. It doesn't take much work to get it to fizzle out.
Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah. Is there a way I can... Because Darkar and I have obviously been parted a lot. That was on page 782 of the most recent update of my backstory. So I'm gonna put a surreptitious mark on the tree in urine, and Darkar will know that because it blasts the bark off the tree. So I just gonna take it and gonna whiz that.
Yeah.
And that'll just be a gentle arrow to where we're going.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone's gonna notice. I'm trying to be surreptitious about it.
Make a stealth check with disadvantage.
Oh no, there's no stealth check.
Hey,
This is
Jacob, you smell that?
Well, that's
Yeah,
well, you're
that's
trying
asparagus.
I
though.
think it's time to move on.
Oh yeah, I probably am trying. Okay, where's my stealth check? With
Down at the
absolute
bottom.
disadvantage. Oh, that's actually not bad. How do I roll it? Damn it. Come on. Scroll back up. Oh, okay. Oh, with disadvantage. Sorry. Gotta roll another. Sorry, guys. For a joke, I'm doing this, and yeah, I'm gonna take forever.
It's worth it.
I guess you could say you're taking the piss out of it.
Yeah. Oh!
Everyone notices.
Yeah.
You turn around and see both River Mist and Flask of Wine looking at you, noses crinkled. They quickly turn their heads and busy themselves with their own packs.
Oh, like you've never done this.
Oh, geez, Rod, was there like some asparagus in that pack of yours, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rations are mostly asparagus based.
You really want to be downwind of the dumps. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a lot of nutshells in this stuff. It's very filling.
You.
All right.
Okay, I'm a little better. And I go down and I like zip up even though I don't have a zipper. Just like,
You? Okay, hang on. You, and you. Okay. Off you trek into the jungle, led by River Mist, one of your two new Tabaxi guides. Through the mud and the wet rain dropping on your head the whole way through. You travel for about 3 or 4 hours before you are walking through through what sort of a clearing. Let's see.
Ooh.
River Mist is at the front of the group. Who's second? What's your marching order? Flask of Wine will take up the back unless anybody else would like to.
I'll just go right behind her if is that okay with everybody else?
After a flask of wine?
If I follow her first, so I'm second in line.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
River-
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, who's third?
Kind
I
of.
mean, you call it.
All right, Jacob's fourth, and Flask of Wine is taking up the rear.
Speaking of, where
We're
did
sure on
Kenneth
both
go?
sides.
Kenneth? As I shout into the forest.
He's in my
Kenneth,
back.
Kenneth.
Oh God, we left him behind!
Flashback to camp where Kenneth is just waking up.
Yup. Luckily, I left a trail, so he's good.
Yeah, he should catch up in something like an hour and a half plus a week.
Yes, about a week.
As River Mist pushes through a set of plants that are covering the path, she stops dead in her tracks. Turns around and says, "Okay, I think get your weapons out."
Why?
Do not have to tell me twice.
Everybody roll for initiative.
Oh, balls.
Hey, she gave us warning.
You are not surprised by this, thankfully. But,
Oh, okay, that's why.
she noticed, but you have stumbled upon a nest of velociraptors.
Ooh.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Where's the? Damn it.
Let's see. I want one
Where's my
more.
initiative picture? Or where's the initiative button, guys?
It's right next to your armor class, the shield.
Oh, you mean the big giant thing that says? Okay.
Yeah, it's the one that says initiative on it. Believe it or not.
And will this thing quit covering up my die?
Oh wait.
Oh, you're all
God.
on your own. Good luck, guys. I'll be here to pick up the bodies afterward.
Yep, me too.
Yep.
Oh God. Well, I guess okay.
Yeah. Good luck, buddy. Good luck, pen guy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All I'm gonna say is, if anyone has things like haste or other spell-like effects, they would sort of
Third level.
scoot me along.
Maybe we will get rid of that one. Okay.
It kind of was Darkhar's job, actually.
All right. What did everyone get for initiative? Xavier.
I got a
I got
4.
15.
Okay. 15. 4. Wait, and Scrod, did you get a 6?
Yeah.
It automatically put the initiatives in the encounter tracker.
Oh, it should.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
That really
I mean,
delights me.
It is a cool thing.
There's a bunch of updates from last week.
The Velociraptors are first. Oh, who would like to act with Flask of Wine, and who would like to act with River Mist on their turn?
Is Flask of Wine, she's up front, right?
River Mist is up front.
River
Flask
Mist
of
is
Wine
up front.
is in the rear.
Logically, she's right in front of me. I'll just go with whatever she does.
Oh, but I mean you're gonna get to tell me what you want her to do.
Oh. What do they do anyway,
I
though?
think Jacob should be telling her what to do.
They have a claw attack, a short sword, and a short bow each. And they make 2 attacks with any combination thereof.
Can I know what River's armor class is?
They both have an armor class of 14.
Okay.
That's good.
I mean, I guess I'll take Flask of Wine.
All right. So just remind me when your turn comes up, and who's doing River Mist, Jacob or Scrod?
Yeah, I can do River.
All right.
I'm gonna avoid making any tactical decisions. That's why I took
Responsibility.
the class I did. Yeah,
Alright.
I took this class for a reason.
Let's see.
And they are in
How many
the back.
velociraptors are we facing down? Oh, what?
7. There is a squad of them. They very quickly surround River Mist. A few of them start sort of flanking up and around the path here. That one gets close enough to Jacob. All right. River Mist gets hit once.
I think on Roll20, Jacobs and I's icons are switched. That doesn't really matter.
Really again? I'll fix that next time.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I don't know why that's happened. I fixed that once, and it wants to stay that way, I guess.
Yeah, it wants me to be the cool guy.
River Mist. I did that backwards. River Mist has more HP.
Not for long.
Right, not for long, but that is what I wanted it to be.
River Mist about to turn to a parted river.
River Mist takes
Red Mist.
total of
Let's choke, damn it.
total of 9 points of damage. Jacob, the Velociraptor that approaches you tries to bite and claw at you desperately, but you're able to fend it off. Xavier, your turn.
Okay.
You're quickly becoming surrounded by these tiny creatures.
Yeah, I'm going to
Are they?
move over here.
They are smaller than this. This is just the smallest I can make them and have them move right.
What's like how many feet tall are they?
They're tiny, so I would say that's 2 to 3 feet tall.
Okay.
Puntable.
They're
If that's what you're
puntable,
asking.
but they whip out damage like an angry cat. All right.
When there's this many of them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna roll to attack this one. Wait. How do I beacon? Well, the one closest
You
to
have your
Jacob.
pointer. You just hold down like that.
Ah, there we go. Okay. The one closest to Jacob,
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot at it with my heavy crossbow.
Yeah.
And would you say that's within 5 feet of Jacob?
It is indeed.
Perfect.
Yeah, you will get your sneak attack if you hit.
Take this. 10 to hit.
10 hits.
Ooh, perfect.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Hiya. Take that. That's gonna be 7 piercing, and if I can get to my stupid. Okay, 7 piercing damage, and 8 sneak attack damage.
With one well-placed bolt from your crossbow, you down one of the velociraptors instantly.
Take that, you horrifying little monster!
It collapses and dies.
Perfect. And is Flask of Wine also acting on my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Or yeah.
And I guess she would attack the one furthest away. This one.
All right. Flask
With
of
her short
Wine whips out the short bow, fires twice, hits twice, and downs another of the velociraptors.
Cool. And she high fives me. Yeah.
He high fives. He high fives you. Flask of Wine is a guy. River Mist is a female to
That's
backstage.
okay. Yeah.
Not that it matters. And then would you like Flask of Wine to do any movement? Considering they also have 20 feet of climb speed.
They don't have class levels, do they?
No.
Okay, then no, that's it. That's it.
Scrod, you are up.
Okay. How much trouble is Mist in?
She looks okay for now. She's definitely gotten one good chunk taken out of her calf by a bite, and is bleeding from a shallow cut on her left forearm, but has her sword drawn and is prepared to fight.
Okay, so she doesn't need to be yoinked out of there.
It doesn't seem like it at this moment.
Okay, let me see. So I can activate the rage thing and attack, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna get the My Little Pony thing of you big meanie, you tiny meanie, you hurt my friend, and then whichever one was, I think I can reach 2 of them at least. Whichever one it was that popped her, I'm just gonna see what happens when an axe falls on their head.
As you rage, losing some control of your emotions, a great spiny tail grows out of the back of at the base of your spine. You have the form of the beast tail for this rage, which you can use that to deal 1d8 plus 3 piercing damage on a hit, and you can also attack from 10 feet away with that. So you could hit either one of these velociraptors from where you're standing.
Okay, it's turned into furry land.
River Mist looks at you and says, "I didn't know you had one of those."
Makes 2 of us. I'm actually a bit horrified at what just happened to me. I was really hoping not to have this part of the rage happen. I guess I got to work on that. But I only get either or, right? It's the axe or tail.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm still gonna wail on the thing with the axe that hurt her.
Yep. We'll say it's this guy in the middle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the one that's really savaged her so far.
Yeah. Oh wait, I gotta roll an attack thing, don't I? All right.
You move up a step. Great axe raised.
If Scribe can roll a jack shit here.
Oh, that's a hit for sure.
A lot. It's only 5 points of damage.
Plus 3 is 8 total.
Ah, okay. It's squishy.
You hack off both of its claws quite cleanly. It is still snapping and biting with its teeth, but it is still alive, but quite hurt. It no longer has its claw attacks.
Okay, now it just has to bite our throats.
Have trouble doing that.
I have good news and bad news on that front. Good news is it's not tall enough to reach your throat.
No, I know exactly where it can reach.
Yeah, that's the bad news.
Yeah.
Jacob, your turn.
That's why I'm raging.
Jacob and River Mist, you're up. Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess what Jacob will do yeah, I guess where's the thinking this might be the smartest spot for him to go. And we'll attack this one. No, we'll attack this one here.
Okay.
With the trident.
All right. Roll to hit.
Velociraptor. Plink. Velociraptor on a stick.
All right, a 12 hits.
All right. And
Do I have to click the roll damage, or do you? I don't think it's doing it for me. There we go. And you're attacking two-handed?
Yes.
All right. You deal 6 points of damage to that Velociraptor, leaving 3 neat holes in its chest. It hisses violently. And River Mist, she's got her short bow, or short sword out at the moment, rather.
All right. So, I would assume that River Mist would then come here. Wait, which one's River Mist? This one up here?
Yeah. Here,
Okay,
let me give everyone. You guys should be able to move the guides now.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. So, which one of these guys has been beaten up quite a bit so far?
This guy in the middle here has
All right,
both of
River Mist will then
his claws are limp.
we use an attack on that one.
All right. She
Finish
hits.
that off.
And cleanly lops its head off.
Yeah.
Landing in a pile next to its 2 claws on the ground, and then the rest of its body.
All right. You say they get another attack?
Yes, River Mist has one more attack with either the short sword or her claws.
Okay. So short sword up here at the top.
All right. That is a miss. She turns to try and swing her short sword at neck level to continue, but this Velociraptor hops up and over the blade at the last second and lands unharmed. Anything else you would like to do, or you'd like her to do?
Do I still have bonus action, or is using the second hand or using two-handed weapon?
No, you still have your bonus action.
Okay. Then I'll use my magic stone on this one down here.
All right. It'll be at disadvantage since it's a ranged attack at melee range, unless you want to try one of the ones that's further away.
No, it's okay.
All right. Okay, that's a hit either way. So go ahead and roll your damage. 4. You conk the Velociraptor right between the eyes. It looks dazed, but it is still kicking for now.
I'll take it.
All right. Back around to the Velociraptors.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
This one circles in. Actually, no. This one goes towards Xavier.
Oh god. You got smart.
You basically put them out where the main fighters did squat. So yeah, I've seen you were a threat.
Desperately trying to claw and bite at you, Xavier, but to no avail. It misses both of its attacks.
My tiny ass armor class.
Yep, he rolled particularly poorly.
That's gonna be his downfall now.
Let's see, this one down at the bottom, the one that's been injured by you, Jacob tries to get at you. Only its claws are also fairly limp, but its bite attack still hits you for a paltry 4 points of damage. Oh no, 3 points.
All right.
The one in the middle goes for Scrod. We're going equal opportunity here. It hits both of its attacks.
Oh, I'm pulling up I'm girding my loins. That's how we're gonna get unpleasant, people.
Dealing. Oh boy.
I'm about to become one of the people.
Oh, that's only a D4.
Oh god, he was about to lose the thing, wasn't he?
May have been. Well, no, I rolled the same. I rolled a 4 both times. So it is a total of 12 points of damage. But do you have resistance while you're?
I think I have.
Should.
Yeah, I've got like some weird thing. Dex offers effects. No, blindfolded. I have an advantage.
Resistance to piercing damage. Yeah, you. So you only end up taking 6 points of damage as this Velociraptor desperately tries to savage you to actually very little effect. River Mist cops another bite from the Velociraptor that she's contending with, but still seems to be doing all right. Xavier, we're back around to you and Flask of Wine.
Okay.
Oh, actually, can I ask how much damage I took? I didn't reduce my hit points.
You took 6 points of damage.
Okay, thank you. Well, not thank you, but you...
I'm gonna have Flask of Wine go before me. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Flask of Wine get right there, and I want Flask of Wine to shoot at this raptor right here, this one.
Okay.
With her short sword, her short bow.
The first attack is a miss.
Yes.
Oh, she misses, or he misses both times. You just can't get a bead on this creature that's desperately trying to attack Jacob, and both of his short bow arrows go wide into the jungle.
Dang. Okay. So, that was his turn. My turn. I'm gonna bonus action disengage, go here, and I'm gonna shoot the one that's right in front of Flask of Wine.
Smart.
With my stuff. Come on. Where's my thing again?
Very smart.
Pew! Oh, fuck. That's a 4.
Yeah, once again, these small these tiny creatures are just almost a blur as they are desperately trying to claw and bite at their prey, and your heavy crossbow bolt sails into the jungle.
Dang. That's it for me.
All right, Scrod, you're up.
I want to like look at him and go, half of you are dead now. You could just run away, but I guess not. And I assume that I've only got one that's in front of me to hit. So, let's put the beat down on this guy.
All right. Go ahead and
I assume that's the only one I can reach, right?
Yeah, and unless you move to one of these two spaces. Which you could move to either side of this Velociraptor without incurring an attack of opportunity. So you could get to either the top or the bottom one. The bottom one is very badly wounded. The one in front of you and the one to the north that's working on River Mist are both uninjured.
Okay, I'm gonna go toward the one that's uninjured for a later assist then. That's right. This one?
Yep, you're fine there. You don't take an attack of opportunity.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a swat of anger at this one down here.
Okay.
Let me see the character sheet. I got my attack.
Swat with a great axe.
Yes. Oh, well, I think... Oh, God.
Now, once again, you try to bring your axe overhead down and end up embedding it in only dirt.
Yeah, a one will do that. Yeah, a 1 will do that.
Oh, that was a 1?
That was a 1.
I get a critical failure card then.
Let me see. Yeah, it's whatever plus 5. So.
Oh my goodness! Oh no, that's a.
Oh, too late. You drew it.
All right.
I said it out loud. I was honest.
All right. For the next, okay.
Just call me. All I can say is, just call me Good Devil of the D&D game.
All right. Jacob, you and River Mist are up.
All right. I will stab the one down here with my trident again.
All right.
This one as well. God.
My goodness. Yeah, it's wise to your tricks this time and moves its neck just to the side so that the two of the three prongs of the trident go on either side and come back without leaving but a scratch.
All right. Then I'm gonna use my magic stone.
On the close one?
Yeah. I'm gonna get disadvantage on that, but
Yeah,
lower than that.
it's already a miss. But let's see if you let's see if you get a 1. Just for fun.
Yeah.
Why
Let's
not?
just round
Huh?
this out for the group.
Just treat me. Don't treat your DM. No, okay.
Nope.
Your
right.
magic stone whizzes into the forest.
And then River Mist should swing at this one up here.
All right, going back at it with the short sword. This time she hits both times. Neatly with one swing, sort of doing the same thing she did to the last one. She takes its claws off with one swing and its head with the other. You are down to a mere 3 Velociraptors. And highs or lows?
Lows. Like I'm rolling.
They disengage and begin to hustle off into the forest. This one is wounded enough that it only makes half its movement speed, but the other two fully disengage and are running away. Xavier and Flask.
What's gonna be? Hold on. Okay. You said this one's the one that's hurt, right? This one?
Yeah, that one is quite visibly hurt.
Oh yeah, he's about to take an arrow, or a crossbow bolt. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
Cool.
Rod's kind of gonna look at you. At what you did.
That's a 3 piercing damage.
3 is enough. Your heavy crossbow bolt catches the fleeing creature at the base of its neck, severing its spine cleanly, and it drops to the ground heavily, as heavy as a tiny creature can.
And Flask of Wine is gonna go right here and say, "Ah, you thought you were gonna get away," and shoot this one.
Okay, that's all right. He gets a critical failure on his first attack, but luckily it does not impact his second attack.
No, the arrow goes into my ass is what happened.
The Velociraptor takes an arrow, but seems intent on continuing to run.
Okay, and that's it for my team.
Okie doke. Scrod.
What's up?
It's your turn.
I have no ranged attack.
You can still move up to him, and you got 10 feet.
Yeah, this one's only 10 feet away from you, and this one is only maybe 20 or 25. You could get to either one if you want. Yeah.
Can I be meta about this?
Sure.
Does rage mean berserk, or does it just mean rage?
It just means rage. I think there are particular rules for berserk.
Okay.
As far as what you want to roleplay, that's up to you.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check that I wasn't violating anything. Okay. I'm gonna stand down on this.
Your rage will end if you do that.
I've had to learn how to eat my feelings, and I'll look at that tail, and I'll be really happy that it's gone.
Yeah, it recedes into the small of your back painlessly. Goodness.
You don't want to know where it went.
Present pocket.
Jacob and River Mist.
Jacob will take a pot shot at the one that's still close, just to make sure they keep running.
Yoke. Yeah, that's a hit.
All right.
You almost knock it down. It falters. It stumbles to the ground. and then regains its footing and continues to dart away into the forest. They both dash this turn, so they get pretty much, one of them gets off the map and the other is up in these bushes.
All right, not gonna chase anything.
Xavier?
No, I'm not gonna chase him.
All right. In that case, combat is over. Thank you to Genwashi Tashi for that wonderful encounter in which I get to pick at my player's health just a little bit. River Mist bends over, breathing heavily, as Flask of Wine goes to her side and kneels. They whisper to each other for a moment, and then Flask of Wine stands back up, and they both return to the group. River Mist is clutching her side, but she says, shall we continue?
Jacob will kneel down and just kind of give a quick silent prayer to his deity for the hunt, and
harvest them up some teeth. Huh?
What I will do is go up to River Mist and say, if I may, and cast Cure Wounds.
Yeah, she will certainly allow that. All right, she regains the worst of her of the claw marks in her side, and the bite mark on her calf seal over with scar tissue. She straightens up fully and says, "Thank you. I feel much better now."
All right, let's carry on then.
Oh. Is everyone else all right? Oh yes, I see. I was I took most of the damage.
Yep.
Like a
Good.
boss,
No, that is good. That is what a guide is for.
I thought they were for guiding, but okay.
A little of column A, a little of column B.
I don't expect my GPS to take a bullet for me in a carjacking, but okay, I guess,
All right. River Mist leads you onwards deeper into the jungle. You travel for another. Oh, let's go to the map.
The map.
Map.
So this red X here. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that red X is where she has previously marked Firefinger on your map. You are traveling southwards. Shortly after you fight the Velociraptors, you find the River Tairiki. You come back upon this bend in the river.
Ooh, okay.
And River Mist says, I suppose we could put those canoes to good use instead of making you continue to carry them.
I don't mind.
Oh, well,
That's probably a good idea. Get them wet.
Boats like to be wet, do they not?
Especially this one.
They would
she
not
likes
be.
wet. No.
Gross. I don't have any context for that, but I can tell it's gross.
What did I say? What did I say?
No,
Boats like to be wet.
I just had something of a cosmic feeling that was gross in some way.
Okay.
Nothing about the way that you said it. I could just tell.
Nope. I noticed we just blew by Port Perazzo too. I'm just gonna wave as we go by.
Yeah. She's taken you basically straight south.
Okay.
The port is some distance to your north at this point.
Yeah.
If you would like to return to Port Nyanzaru, we can do so at some point. But Firefinger, we approach Firefinger by nighttime. As the sun sets, you all can see coming around a bend in the river, a giant, what looks like a naturally formed spire of rock, about 300 feet tall, give or take. You can't quite tell because the very top of the tower seems to disappear into the low-hanging cloud cover that has been spitting rain at you for the past 3-4 days, ever since you arrived in Chult. At the very peak of that tower, somewhere in the mist, you can see what looks like the glow of a powerful fire, a powerful flame. The walls of this fire from this distance are sheer. There looks to be very few handholds, if any. River Mist in one boat and Flask of Wine in the other gently begin to nudge your canoes towards the edge of the river.
Oh.
That is Firefinger.
Way over there.
You beach your canoes on the edge of the river, dragging them maybe 50 feet off the shore, just to be sure. At the behest of River Mist and Flask of Wine, if nobody else thinks of it. And then River Mist beckons the group of you over to draw a sort of diagram in the dirt. She talks while she draws it with one long, sharp claw. She says, Firefinger, as I have told you, there are quite a number of Terra folk who have taken over the tower itself, but we have arrived at an opportune time to approach the tower without detection. Once we reach the tower, we will have to... there are ladders, at least to the first level. From there will be some tunnels that we have to climb through. If anybody has any climbing equipment, that would be of great use at this particular juncture. But if not, any rope, any pitons of any description?
I do have some rope.
Excellent.
I think Kenneth had all the climbing stuff.
Yeah, Kenneth has some climbing gear.
Yeah, I have no idea what's in Darkar's backpack.
Let's see. Fumbling through Darkar's backpack, you find a paperclip, belly button lint,
Okay.
and abacus.
Yeah, that sounds about like it. Travels light. Does he have all the old Playgirls in there?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yep.
You also find 10 pitons and a 50-foot length of rope. In Darkar's.
So they're I'm gonna say they're pronounced titans.
Titons.
Because the P is silent.
Itons.
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 Yes. Itons.
So he has 10 itons and a 50-foot length of rope.
Okay.
And I got rope on me. I also have ladders.
All right, that should be sufficient.
Yeah.
We simply must approach with some care. But once we make it into the tower, we will... I suspect that this gear will make climbing the tower rather simple. And hopefully once we reach the top, we will be able to see something of where we are going if the fog clears.
All right.
Cool.
Does anybody need anything to do before we go?
No.
Gonna pee.
Yeah, but
Everybody pee.
leave another arrow.
Yes, before we
Another
leave,
arrow.
everyone should make
Going
sure
up.
that they get everything out that they need to.
Wait. So we gotta climb up this thing.
As you approach, we're gonna make a group stealth check.
Oh, I'm okay with
So everybody make me a stealth check.
that. Oh, okay. I got a 17.
Okay.
Oh, that went basic.
You guys just made it.
Oh God.
Scrod's check made it. You needed 3 out of the 5 of you to beat a 12. So as you approach the large tower, ducking from copse of tree to large fern, at one point, Jacob steps on a branch and snaps it, and you all see a large shadow sail through the air above you. Everybody freezes for a moment, holding their breath, but the shape seems to continue on without any notice. And you are able to approach the... why is everyone so little?
We're baby-sized.
Yeah, you babies.
No, we're not. We're fun-sized.
Alright, there we go. Everyone's resized.
We're chibis. Wait, did you get the chibi art made for us?
So, Flask of Wine leads you all to this ladder at the south of the southern edge of the tower. It is a rickety-looking rope and wooden ladder. Many of the rungs look to be splintered. The ropes look to be somewhat frayed. But she tugs on it. It doesn't budge. And she turns around to you all and says, well, this will be our method of ascent. Who would like to go first?
Not me.
I think the lightest people should go first, just in case this thing doesn't hold.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that might be me.
Yeah. But I
Make
mean,
sure you
yeah,
take a rope with you.
Yeah, no, tie a rope to him so we can catch him so he doesn't fall past the ground.
No. All right. I guess I'll go.
All right, Xavier, make an athletics check.
Oops. Athletics check.
Wait, it says... Huh. It says dexterity, parentheses, athletics check.
That's weird. I wish it was Dex, but it's not.
Oh, could it be a dex-based athletics check?
I'll let you guys choose.
Oh.
You can use either acrobatics or athletics. Since,
Well, you know I'm going to use acrobatics then.
yeah, since the book is confusing in that.
Oh wow, I wrote the same thing on the athletics and the dex and the acrobatics, but I got 14 on the acrobatics.
All right, you make your way up the ladder with ease.
I'm shaking though.
It is. I mean, it's a 60-foot tall ladder. It's a pretty.
That's 60 feet of death.
It's pretty tall.
Okay.
And rickety looking. Wait,
Oh,
where are
God.
you?
I should be. Where
I
am I?
lost you. Let me go get
Oh,
you.
what the heck? I was under Flask.
Yeah, I saw you. I'll go get you.
Yeah.
You're little again, but there you are.
Oh, there I am. Neat.
Oh wait, now you're back over there.
What the hell? There's two
You're
of
up.
them. Oh, there we go. Okay.
All right. Who is next? Who is next?
Who's the next lightest? I'm about
Probably
180
myself
pounds.
or Flask of Wine.
You're about how much?
But,
Yeah.
the one of us should say down here. Flask of Wine will go up first.
Did Xavier bring the rope with him? I forget what we said.
Xavier has a rope.
I have a rope with me.
It's only 10 feet long, isn't it?
Oh, it should be 50.
Okay, that gets us 10 feet less of what we need.
Right.
I'm gonna we can't shout up to him now that this is done, is it? That would be a bad idea.
That
Yeah,
would no
probably should.
longer be stealthy. Correct. You look up with your hands around your mouth and
I'm
you can
about to, like-
see distant, dark, shadowy shapes circling the tower above.
Hold on just a second.
And think better
Jacob?
of it.
Jacob? Yeah. Oh, I was gonna do another thing, but okay. Oh, never mind. I was gonna start shouting and have Jacob stop.
Okay.
In a
Yeah.
fit of wisdom, I will not shout this time.
A rare fit of wisdom. All right.
But I'm like, 280 pounds, so I think I'm gonna be bringing up I should be the last person up this ladder.
All right. Flask of Wine makes his way up, but about halfway up, his foot goes straight through a couple of the rungs. He
Ah.
almost falls, but sinks his claws into the board that he's hanging onto, and hauls himself back up. He looks back down and over his shoulder. He's only about 30 feet away, so all of you down there can hear him shout, "Sorry."
Ouch!
But he continues up and makes it. But there are now about 3 rungs right in the middle that are broken, which is going to make every successive check slightly more difficult. River Mist
All right.
looks to you, Jacob, and says, "Please."
Okay. You said acrobatics or athletics,
Either one.
and I'm doing it at a disadvantage now, or?
No, it's just a harder check.
Oh, okay, good.
The DC's gone up a bit.
Would
Okay, DM,
Yes.
apparently someone in chat disagrees with your infinite wisdom and says because there are 3 fewer rungs to climb, it should go faster.
Oh, it's even easier.
It's even easier because there's less.
It's a
less
shorter
rungs.
ladder. There's fewer rungs
Yeah,
on
it's a
it.
shorter ladder. There's less less hand checks. Yeah.
Well, the good news on that is either way, Jacob succeeds.
I couldn't
No.
resist. Sorry, I just thought it was funny.
Oh, that is very
So
good.
what I want to do when I get to the top is see if there's anything to tie a rope to. That would be secure.
Highs or lows?
Highs.
Yeah, there's a fairly substantial outcropping of rock right next to you that you feel confident tying a rope around.
All right, I want to do that, and I want to lower it down where the ladder is to give whoever's climbing up next a little extra support.
Yeah. Let me see what that does. I think. Yeah. So everyone from this point on will be making their checks with advantage after the first 10 feet, which is trivial, frankly. So.
We're up here. Except Scrod.
So River Mist gestures to you once again, Scrod, and says, "If you please."
You really sure about this, Mist?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Nothing.
Oh God,
Was that in character as the referee?
that was not shit. We're about to die.
No, that was a
You just-
All
You
the-
just remembered a rule you forgot, didn't you?
I
You
I
just
did.
remembered something. Oh, here we go.
Oh God, you noticed me up here.
Noticing. Okay. Well, I'll. Yeah, there's no rope to tie off to me because no one thought about that. So,
But
yep,
there is a rope that's tied to an outcrop that's about 10 feet up. After you get 2 feet on the ladder, you can reach the rope, which allows you to make your athletics check with advantage.
Okay. Thank you so much.
They tied it off from the top.
Okay. What am I doing? Thinking. All right. I'm not thinking very well. Okay. Athletics it is.
It's okay, Scrub. I'll be scared too of the flying things above us.
Okay, and I've got one more athletics
All right,
roll.
that is sufficient.
Good enough. Okay.
You easily make your way to the top. As with rope in one hand and ladder on the other, you're effectively distributing your weight as you climb up.
Like the iron sinews under my skin roll like snakes.
Mm-hmm.
That was my audition for the Conan game that may be coming up.
All right. As you look back down, River Mist has eschewed the ladder in favor of using her natural climb speed, which Flask of Wine could also have used and therefore not have broken the ladder at all. Oh. But someone didn't remember that they could do that. So...
Yeah, Flask, what the hell?
So you all make it up. If any of you look over at Flask of Wine during this time, his ears are completely flat against his head. His head is bowed, and his tail is swishing back and forth in a gesture of extreme contrition.
It's like, oh, what claws? I don't have any claws. What are you talking about?
I was declawed as a kitten. No, I've got them. Just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's because you really don't want to do things. You're like my friend Darkheart. You do not want to do things the easy way, do you?
No.
No. I understand.
All right. You are now all up at the top of this first level of Firefinger. You look into this dark, musty cave hewn out of the rock. River Mist takes a step forward and says, around the corner there is a bit of a drop, but once we get through and up and over, there will be a tunnel that we can climb upwards through to the next level.
Is it dark in here?
It's quite dark.
Okay.
For anybody who doesn't have dark vision, it is quite dark.
I'm blind as a bat.
River Mist is taking tentative steps ahead, seemingly unaware that anybody else can't see.
Can I turn on a torch? I got a torch.
You sure can. You can light a torch.
Yeah. Is everyone okay with that? I light a torch? Who knows what might be in here? I got a torch.
Yeah, let's make sure we do it when we're kind of a little bit in.
Okay.
Not by the entranceway.
Sure. Yeah. In there.
All right. As you wander into this cave, there is a small passageway that seems to just loop around this spire of rock in the middle. There is a 10-foot pit here labeled on the map. It's just down 10 feet and then up another 10 feet on the far side of it, where you can see actually just another small cliff and a passageway. River Mist points that way and says, the passage is up above there.
Oh, I do want to collect my rope too.
Okay, yeah, you have your rope back.
How tall is the ceiling in here?
It's about 10 feet high.
So the pit would make it like 20 feet?
Yeah, right here it's 20 feet. Everywhere else it's 10 foot.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking our maybe the guys that can actually see in the dark should go a little ahead of us, or at least one of them, to make sure that nothing surprises us.
Oh, certainly. I will take a look. River Mist goes to the edge of the pit and peers in. She turns around to you and says, "All clear."
Okay. Go ahead and light your torch, Xavier.
Okay, I will light my torch,
Your torch flickers to life.
and I also want to take off one of my badges of a wooden ladder that's 24 feet long. Because if we're going to be doing a lot of climbing in here, maybe we can use that.
All right.
Yeah,
Xavier,
24 feet long.
with a torch clutched in one hand, reaches onto his oddly patterned robe that you've all probably remarked on at some point, and pulls off a patch of a ladder, flicks it out in front of him, and in an instant, what was a patch is now a 24-foot long wooden ladder.
Yeah. And I would like to use that to get down the pit. And the vertical movement we would need for it, I would use for that.
All right. So you set there. Let's see. Let's do a little.
Please don't say math.
No, I was just gonna say let's do a little drawing. There's a ladder right there where that red rectangle is.
Cool.
Does that work?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. A ladder. You thunk the ladder down into the bottom of the pit.
Okay. There's an easier way down. That way we don't have to take any damage.
Very resourceful, my friend.
Ooh. You're very welcome.
I'll climb down.
All right. Jacob, the second that you set foot in the bottom of the of the pit, you hear a hissing noise, and
Why'd it have to be snakes?
all around you, crawling out from cracks deep in the walls of this small pit, cracks that weren't visible until you reached this angle, all coated with webs, and many, many eyes glint at you. Roll for initiative.
Nice, guys.
Oh boy.
More light, more light.
Oh wait, I could. Oh, that'd be pretty funny, but I don't know if I can do that. Let's see, where's my initiative?
Wait, so who all is actually down there right now? Is just Jacob?
Just Jacob.
Yeah.
I think Jacob can hike it back up here.
But they're spiders.
Start climbing. Initiative. Get up here.
It's okay, not gliding.
All right, Scrod, what's your initiative score?
Oh, I got a roll. I was fascinated by the spiders.
Oh wait.
Man, Jacob's really gonna get eaten.
I was gonna watch this. Hey, better than last time.
All right. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
the spiders are first,
I got 6.
and they converge on Jacob. We're gonna use my mob attack. So Jacob's got a 16.
Yes.
Their attack bonus is a 3. 13. There's 3 of them. They get 1 hit off on you. Make a Constitution saving throw, Jacob, as one of the large spiders sinks its fangs into your arm. All right, you can feel some kind of foul poison trying to pump into your blood, but you're able to shake it off for the time being.
All right.
But you are fully surrounded. It is your turn.
All I can think is Jacob is thinking, well, there's one less dose of poison I'm getting out of these guys.
Don't waste it on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and who would like to act with River Mist? And should we keep the River Mist and flask of wine from last time?
Please.
I was gonna go with that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you also have River Mist on this turn.
Well, I'm going to strike this one down here first with the trident.
That's a hit. 6 points of damage. You puncture its abdomen. It begins to leak a vile green fluid onto the ground, but it is still kicking.
And I'll use my bonus action for my magic stone.
Okie doke. That's with
12.
disadvantage. Okay, so that's gonna be a miss.
All right, and then we said river.
He does have a short bow.
Is he going to be able to get down the ladder with me being there?
River can climb down the side of the wall with her climb speed, if you'd like.
Okay. Then, yeah, if we can move them here.
Yeah, so that is 5. That is... She's got
15?
10 feet of movement left.
Okay. Then we'll move over one more and attack the same one.
With short sword?
Yeah, short sword.
1 hit. 1 kill. That spider is scythed in half and falls to the ground, leaking more of that vile green fluid all over the ground. All right, any more
That's
movement?
it for us.
All right.
Nope.
Strahd.
Oh man. So the chances of, man, I have no ranged attack unless, can I throw Xavier at them?
Oh, you have javelins.
Oh, do I?
You do.
Oh, well, all right.
Throw those
It's
things on your back,
some-
Scrod.
It's some, oh, they're back here. Oh, okay, it's only what's in front of my hands. Okay, well, I'm gonna do some Zeus action on these bozos. One furthest from, what's it? Where am I at here? Sorry.
You can hit any of them from where you're currently standing.
Okay, I'm gonna try this guy. Above him.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I forgot it's 10 feet down, so you'd have to step to the edge of the pit.
Okay, is that would that be enough?
But that'll be enough.
I can move an attack, right? I mean, it's
Yes.
a 2-step. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's only a 5-foot step to get to the edge.
Is that
Yeah,
about okay,
that's
or
plenty.
do you want me here?
Either one. You're good with
Okay,
either
I just
wherever
didn't
you
want
like.
to mess it up.
Nope. you're
Okay,
good.
well,
Either one.
yeah, we'll keep raining fire on this guy then. Okay. Where do I have javelins then? You said I have them.
Here, they should be in your actions now. If you refresh real quick.
Huh,
Oh.
how mysterious.
No, I just never equipped them.
Yeah.
Really?
You have a sling as well.
All right, where is this thing? Okay, I've got. I think I've got to equip them. I got a quarterstaff. I got a sling. I got sling bullets. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. It's first time player, long time listener.
Now we know.
Okay, I like the javelin idea just because it's more fun that way. I have no idea how many I've got, but one of them was going into him, or not.
Is that a crit?
That's a crit.
Joseph.
What? Where?
Oh boy.
I'm
so,
beginning to like this game.
your javelin pierces straight through the thorax or no, they don't have thoraxes. Straight through the abdomen of the spider.
They have a cephalothorax, though. They haven't used.
Pin it to the ground. Triple damage, and the target is pinned to the ground and becomes restrained, which would be relevant if that hadn't killed it outright. It spasms and dies like an exhibit at the museum. It remains pinned to the ground. It is fully dead. Any more movement or anything?
Or where that came from, bucko. I don't think I have any more movement. I moved pretty well from right here.
All right. Xavier.
Can I still throw Xavier down then? Can I do that as a bonus action? Get him over.
Sure. If you want it, it'll be opposed strength checks. Which.
If he does get near the edge, well, if he gets too near the edge,
anyway.
If he gets too near the edge, I will grab his belt so he won't tip over. I really will.
All right. Xavier, you and Flask of Wine are up.
Okay. Well, Flask of Wine. It's going to move right here and shoot at this spider here.
I believe that's 2 hits. Yes, it is. It's 2 hits. Oh, God. Minimum damage on both of them, though. He only does 6 points of damage. The arrows seem to go shallowly into this. It's not leaking as much green ichor as you would like.
And I'll move a little bit closer there. And I will shoot at the one here.
Okay. Yeah, you aim over Jacob's head. Well over there. You're 10 feet
over it. Hiya, that's going to be a 17 to hit.
Yep, that works. Roll all your damage.
Yeah, that's going to be 10 piercing. And 8 sneak attack.
This spider has just reared up, ready to sink its fangs into Jacob's neck, and you neatly sever its head from its body with a well-placed arrow, and it falls to the ground. Fully dead.
Perfect. And that's it for me.
All right, we're back to just one more quite wounded spider. It tries to bite you, Jacob, and just can't. It's weakened. Its fangs try to close around your arm, but cannot pierce the skin. Or back to you, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab this thing with a trident.
That doesn't do it.
Ah, gee.
And my rocks.
That was the sound of him getting bit.
Yeah, it was the sound. You were putting all your effort into it.
That will do it. Roll your damage. That better do it. Yeah. A magic stone whizzes through this spider from mandibles to spinnerets.
No,
And
no.
it collapses on the ground, twitching as its 8 legs begin to curl in around itself. And
Frantically, I look over at River and say, I thought you said this was clear.
I thought it was clear. I looked. I could not see any spiders. I am very sorry. I am very sorry.
Oh. All right.
I thought thought this was clear.
we are out of initiative.
I'm gonna say, guys, I had a better idea. If you guys could come back up the ladder, please.
No, they've cleared them all out. Now, what else could go wrong?
Well, this way we don't have to go up and down. We can just go across because this ladder is kind of long. So I want to put it across.
I don't.
This is all 10 feet.
I don't know if it's that long.
24 feet.
It is. That should work. At this narrowest far top corner, it will go right across.
Yeah, but this way we got free venom sacks.
I was gonna say, yeah, I want to check out.
Yeah.
All right.
What these things are.
Sure.
Yeah, make an Arcana check. Or no, not an Arcana check, just a survival check. These are mundane creatures.
I'm gonna keep an eye out while they search. Can I down to him? Not down, but down.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, do you think there's any egg sacs or anything else in those cracks?
Possibly. I got a.
I'll keep a lookout up here.
These are giant wolf spiders. They do have quite potent venom sacs that you think you could harvest.
All right.
Another strong paralytic.
Yeah. It's let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, make your harvesting check, whatever that is. I know you know more about this bit than I do.
Let me see here. For that one, it is.
Let's see. I gotta remember what everybody's getting in terms
nature.
of experience today. Yeah, that sounds right.
Ooh, killing it.
17. That should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. You're able to get 2 vials of this poison out of each of them.
All right.
It will, if applied to a weapon or ingested, it will deal 2d6 poison damage after a failed Constitution saving throw. And if the poison damage reduces the target to 0 hit points, the target is paralyzed for an hour.
Oh.
Remind me, I'll make sure that all gets into your inventory properly.
All right.
As a thing, since I don't understand how hit points work. If they were 0, wouldn't they be dead?
Right. They remain stable, but poisoned for 1 hour and paralyzed.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
It's a particular. Normally you'd be right, but this is a particular effect that this poison has, where it will keep the target paralyzed but not dead.
Oh, okay, so that they can feed later, kind of thing. Okay, I'm sorry. I just thank you for that, Dave.
Yeah,
Of course.
They also give you an incredible interaction too.
If it and luckily it does not last more than 1 hour, apparently.
It lasts
So there's no
exactly
need to
1
call
hour.
cleric. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you buy your drugs from a known source.
Meanwhile, River Mist has gone over to you, Xavier, and said, "May I borrow your torch for a moment?"
Sure. And I guess I'll drop it down to him.
She takes it and goes around to each of the crevices that these spiders crawled out from, and jams the torch inside. You can see down each of these crevices is now a flickering flame as she burns away any remainder of webs or egg sacs or anything that may have been still lurking.
Good.
The younglings.
And then she one pod climbs back out of the pit and hands you your torch back, Xavier.
Cool.
And says, "Shall we? I think the ladder across the top of the pit is probably a good idea. It at least saves us from moving the ladder once."
Yeah. Yes. Good idea.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm gonna light my own torch now.
Okay. Yeah, you also have a torch. Xavier, you lay your ladder across the gap, and it is a trivial matter, especially with the wall being as close as it is up here, to cross the pit.
Perfect. It's like I planned.
Yeah. Let's see. They're across to the other side. I mean, River Mist waits for everybody to get across, but then everybody gets across. Here, where you can see this spot of light, there is a narrow chimney that leads upwards. It looks to be about 90 feet upwards. And River Mist says, "My brother and I will be able to make this quite simply, but would you like us to perhaps lay some climbing gear along the way?"
Oh, of course. I would like to stick the ladder as far as I can go.
That gets you, that gets you an extra. That gets you 15 feet up the tunnel, basically.
Yeah.
14 feet, but we'll round up. I don't know why they're 24 feet.
Yeah.
That's specific. I remember. I wouldn't put that in there if that wasn't specifically what it said. But it's weird that it's 24.
Yeah.
Such an odd number.
So that you can get over 20-foot gaps.
But why wouldn't you go 25 then? Everything's 5 foot in this game. Everything's like nice round numbers, and then we got a 24-foot ladder. All right. Have any of you any equipment you would like me to install on our climb up?
I got some Etons that you can use.
The Etons. You
Etons.
you are not from Cholt, are you?
We're hanging out there. I've got some friends there.
No. You have the you are able to speak like one of the Choltans.
Yeah.
The Etons.
Well, Etons.
All right. River Mist tells Flask of Wine, you will go at first and install the Etons. Our friends will continue after you, and as I climb up, I will retrieve them. Does this sound amenable?
Oh, can you take the ladder up? Like, if you're going last, can you take the ladder up with you as well?
I certainly can. Actually, we may have to leave the ladder here.
We can just
It is quite a long ladder.
Oh, we can drag it up with a rope.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It
can you
will.
stick that thing back in your robe?
No, once it's out, it's out.
But yes, if we tie a couple of ropes together, we can pull the ladder up with us. This is true.
Which I have with me as well.
I can just strap it to my back as I climb up the wall.
This could be true as well. My brother and I do not require the use of the ladder. If Scrab goes just before I go, I suppose this would work as well.
Wait, can I hang on to the ladder as Scrub's going up it?
If you want to take a chance on an athletics 5, you go right for it.
No, we
I mean, I think
tie the
What?
ropes to the ladder and bring it up.
All right. Flask of Wine goes up first. You can hear faint sounds of hammering as he installs the pittons every so often, every 5 feet or so, all the way up. And that means that actually all of you can make this climb without even making a check with the use of climbing gear. And River Mist can collect all of the gear as she brings up the rear, and we are on to the second level of Firefinger.
huh,
Oh, neat.
You probably had to extinguish your
Torch on the way up.
your torch as you went up, but
Yeah, that's fine.
Flask of Wine had a torch at the top that he lit to give you light from the top. It is a trivial climb.
Neat.
And you are now in yet another dark, musty cave. But you can feel some gust of wind coming from the south. A faint
Immediately get my torch back.
breeze. Yeah. You and Xavier both have your torches.
I would like to check for creatures as we move along,
Okay.
if that's possible.
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Oh,
Where are you guys going?
that's hard.
Yeah, I mean you're going down and around here.
South. I got a 9. Anyone else
Alright.
want to take a crack at that? Okay.
I'm just looking. There's a ladder over on the side there. Okay, never mind.
I don't know why there's a ladder there. There should really only be a ladder here. This
Yeah,
ladder
yeah.
is real.
We don't know that's there though.
I don't know why this ladder is there. But yeah, that's true. That is on the other side of the wall.
Oh, that's a wall, not a chasm or.
No, it's a wall.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I'm
it's
sorry.
It's a little bit of relief. It's kind of a funky looking.
Well, I'll say it's a relief. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Sorry about that, Dave. I was so used to fog of. Sorry. Fog of
I know.
war.
I didn't set up Fog of War on these.
All right. Thanks, man. I'm sorry.
I should have.
All right.
You're good.
The jury will ignore that testimony. And yeah.
All right. Insist that our scouts check ahead again.
Okay. Flask of Wine stays with you. River Mist goes up ahead.
To hear a cat scream. Oh no!
Okay, you hear her call back. Or actually, no, she doesn't call back. She is smarter than that. She walks around and comes back to you, and she says, "There is a corpse in the other room.
Fresh?
No, very not fresh.
Okay.
It does not look as if it was taken by the Terrafolk. It does not have the... well, it still has its flesh on its bones, which suggests it was not taken by the Terrafolk. But it looks as if all of the moisture has been sucked out of the body.
Oh god, that's a mosquito
Looks like our friends back there.
I did see.
Spider silk or not?
No, I did not see any web of any kind.
Okay, that's not how they roll, guys.
And
And it-
the The passageway, the chimney that you climbed through, was also free of spider webbing.
Oh.
Yeah, so we got a new problem here.
Does this does this creature sound familiar to me? That not familiar to me, but I mean,
Make a nature check.
Because
It sounds familiar.
player me knows that it could be that weird mosquito thing that sucks blood out of people.
Yeah, make a nature check.
Oh damn.
Or a
That was a
weird
four.
or a weird rock thing that drops on them.
You think that maybe there's a vampire that lives in here?
Oh god, vampire guys.
Nice.
Yeah, the
I
only thing
told
you've
you,
ever really
look.
heard of is a vampire or vampire spawn that maybe could have caused this.
Xavier, hold on. Xavier, did you say this out loud? Please.
Yeah, I do, because I think I would have been like, oh hell, vampire.
Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is look at him and say, will you quit looking things up on D&D MD? Okay,
I mean, that's
it's
what-
not cancer, it's not a vampire.
I think we should
Told
Those
you.
are just
continue
made
to
up.
get out of here as quick as we can.
You always think it's vampires.
You always think it's vampire. It's not cancer, it's not vampires, they're just made up. Those don't exist, like Australia. They don't exist.
River Mist says, I did not see any sign of a vampire, and I also did see that there were some... I saw the telltale glint of gold on the corpse. I simply wanted to pass this along to you in case that would influence your decision.
Okay, the gold thing's got me, guys.
It
Yeah,
is.
Because I do think now it's a vampire. I think it's the kind that sparkles.
There were shiny things on the corpse.
Sure.
Let's just hurry.
Yeah, let's go investigate.
I'm not on Team Edward.
Yeah. I'm over there.
Jacob's operating under a very different circumstances of panic than normal.
Oh boy. All right, Jacob, we're gonna get us out of here, out of this dark cave.
We do not have to pass through the room with the corpse if we do not like. We can simply continue on our way.
The
Okay,
room
folks,
to the
yes.
left.
Yeah, she. If you guys are there, she indicates this big room, and actually from there you can kind of see this slumped corpse, just its boots kind of out of the gloom.
Okay.
And she says, "Our path is to the south. Around the corner, we have another ladder to climb. It is only if you wish to investigate the body that we have to brave, perhaps, whatever caused the body to be not alive anymore."
I wouldn't mind looking at
How
that
much longer
body.
till we're out of the cave?
Oh, right around the corner. But then I should warn you, we will be back in the cave again quite shortly.
I would like to look at the ceiling, a lot, because I heard that vampires hang by their feet from the ceiling.
All right, make a perception check with advantage.
Oh, advantage. Okay.
I heard they hang out in high schools trying to pick up chicks.
That's going to be a 22.
All right. As you're peering around the very top of the of this area, you don't see vampires. You see what could maybe be very tiny vampires, but they have hooked feet, fleshy wings, and a
Proboscis?
awful-looking proboscis.
Oh, yep.
And you can see about, let me see here. You can see about 6 of them.
Okay, I'm going to immediately just turn around to the guys and go, shh! We've got to be really quiet!
Does he recognize what these
Not
are?
very quiet.
No, it just
Yeah,
looks scary to me. I don't know what it
except
is.
it's the last roll.
And with that, everybody hunkering down in this dank, dusty cave, facing a bevy of disgusting-looking little blood-sucking creatures. We will leave it there for the week, and see you guys next week for the continuation of Tomb of Annihilation.
All right. Well, thank you to all the players and to our GM for a fantastic session. And thanks to all the audience for being here with us. And hey, it disappeared. And okay, there I am. Now I'm back. No, going away. Yes. So, if you are enjoying visiting us for the first time, please hit that follow button down the bottom right-hand corner. And then tomorrow night we will be back 8:30 to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for the continuation of Star Trek and the voyages of the USS Norway. The chat has not completely obliterated the ship just yet, but who knows? There's still plenty of time. Then we'll be back on Wednesday, 8:30 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the Fabled Ruby campaign, as we continue to see what our huntsmen have in store for them. Thursday, we'll be back for Riff's Megaversal Mayhem, as the group now travels underwater in the planet of Vitreous. And then we will be back Saturday for the continuation of the Riff's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Megaverse, as the group has to decide how to stop this storm and these creatures that have decided to spoil all the food that we had. And then we'll be back next week for 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time for the continuation of Tomb of Annihilation and how we deal with these bloodsuckers. So thank you again, everybody. And Magic Voice, do we have a raid set up? Woohoo! All right. So please participate in the raid, and be courteous, but let them know we rated them, and support tabletop stream role-playing games. And we'll see everybody next time. Bye, everybody.